G'day guys, in this video I'm going to be covering ACT Fire and Rescue Recruitment for 2023. So how to become a firefighter with ACT Fire and Rescue this year. I'm going to walk you through all of the current steps for ACT Fire and Rescue recruitment process as they are this year, and more importantly, I'll show you what you can do to give yourself the edge and actually pass each stage of the process, allowing you to get selected over hundreds of other very keen applicants. The first step is the online application. ACT Fire and Rescue use an online portal for your personal information and all the minimum requirements you need. It stays open for 2 weeks from the start of recruitment. Now, to make a positive impact in this section of recruitment, you need to understand what's important to the recruitment team and how to highlight this in your initial application. You'll need to understand and meet the minimum prerequisite requirements and have all your personal documentation up to date so you can fill out the portal efficiently and correctly. Find out what you need in advance. That's one key bit of advice that I could give you. Make sure to actually read and follow all instructions, as you know, there is minor things that almost always change from application to application. And it is extremely common for applicants to miss something very simple and then get cut before it's all really started. Don't be this guy or girl. All right, the online cognitive ability and written assessments. So the ACT Fire and Rescue Aptitude Test is an online test consisting of 2 sections. The first section is run by Hudson Psychometric Testing and contains 3 main sections. You've got the numerical, abstract, and verbal. The second section is a spatial reasoning test called Scale Up, also by Hudson, and these are unsupervised exams. The numerical reasoning section, it tests your understanding of finance, percentages, and interpretation of data. It consists of 24 questions in a 10-minute time constraint. The verbal reasoning section contains short passages that you need to interpret and then answer the accompanying questions. It consists of 24 questions in 13 minutes. The abstract questions consist of a series of buttons which apply some change to a given shape. Now these come in varying difficulties, but your task is to determine which button corresponds to which change in order to determine the missing shape. But there are 44 questions in 15 minutes, and the same rules will apply for multiple questions in a row. The spatial exam is an untimed 20-question exam with various question types, and I do have some examples of the questions that you can find on the free training page, so make sure you get your hands on that. Now, myself and my aptitude testing gang have also designed a platform called e-learning to help with your aptitude test prep. Now, I do keep the platform completely up to date with the current test questions for ACT, Fire and Rescue every single intake. On the platform, you can orient yourself with relevant practice questions for ACT and the computerized exam format to help you find your way around the online test as well. Look, being familiar with the tests in advance is going to save you time, improve your score, and allow you to perform your best on test day as well. Preparation, meeting opportunity. Now, time is a big consideration when mapping out your test-taking strategy if you do have a weak spot in any of the ability areas, so make sure you give this some thought during your preparation as well. Now, aside from the aptitude tests, a written response is required. The question is relevant to the selection criteria and has been for work, health, and safety, as well as the values of respect, equity, and diversity. Make sure you are up to speed with creating a good response to anything that they might ask. Now, when I'm working with a candidate on this type of question, we first get familiar with the position description and the organization, and then craft and improve responses based around this knowledge. Works really well and ensures that you don't make any deadly mistakes. Okay, next is the very loved beep test. Candidates who meet the requirements are going to receive an invitation to take the beep test, which is a cardiovascular challenge examination. Now, the shuttle run portion of this test requires a level of 9.6 to pass. Decently high, but certainly very, very achievable. The candidates who don't get 9.6 but do score between 7.6 and 9.5 will be given the chance to retake the beep exam at a later time. But look, you don't need to be this person. You can control your score if you have time. At a bare minimum, if you're not up to scratch, do the test twice a week with the goal of moving and locking in one more level each time. Now, if you can aim for a score over 10 each time, this way, if you are a bit off on the day, for example, you can still easily pass and miss out on the stress of the unknown. Now, the PAT or physical abilities test is after the beep test. You'll only be invited if you have been successful in all the prior assessments. If you are told to reattempt at a later date, you will have a separate schedule following certain criteria to comply with. ACT Fire and Rescue administers the physical aptitude testing, or PAT, to all prospective recruits in order to make sure that potential firefighters are fit to carry out physical demanding activities in an obviously safe and competent manner. The stages of the physical aptitude test are: number 1, balance test. Number 2 is the ladder climb, and 3 is the tower climb. 4 is height anxiety test. 5 is the sensory deprivation. 6, hose drag, 50-meter hose reel, and 7 is the container lift. Number 8 is hose hold and advance. 9 is hydraulic equipment carry, and 10 is team member rescue. Now, you complete all stages of the test in the above sequence. Your dress requirements for the PAT, well, you need to be wearing long sleeves, full-length pants, and suitable closed-in footwear, obviously. Athletic attire is fine to be worn so long as it covers the full length of the body. Hats, sunnies, sleeveless shirts, not to be worn to the PAT. Now, familiarize yourself with these tests. I will link to some video examples for you to help out as well. Now, after proving your physical fitness, the next step is to validate your cognitive abilities test score by sitting in a supervised exam. And you've got to demonstrate the same, if not better, cognitive abilities to pass this stage. This is also one of the reasons why we highly discourage the use of help aids such as cell phones, calculators, the internet during the initial exam. A really big difference in your test scores will most likely spell the end of the line for you in the recruitment process, which we obviously don't want. Then after that, we have the state panel interview. If you pass the verification examination, you move on to the final interview. The interview is where all your prior work and knowledge, it needs to come together. Now, laying the foundations early in the process with your application and testing, have a thorough understanding of the service, the role, and why you are the person for the job are the fundamentals to doing really well in this part. Make sure you see the free training page for interview preparation tools. But look, most people, they just don't do nearly enough work here, which leaves you with an excellent opportunity if you actually do the work. All right, so let's say we've passed the final interview. Now we've got to complete the referee reports. ACT Fire and Rescue will reach out to your character references and do a police check as well. You'd then be invited to the psychological test, which is also provided by Hudson, just for your context and information. I do have an excellent book available to help you understand these tests on a fundamental level, as well as some free resources available to you in my private Facebook group. Facebook group link is below. And the final step is the medical assessment. So if you progress to this stage, you will be required to take a detailed, standardized pre-employment health assessment with an ACT Fire and Rescue appointed medical practitioner. So look, if you think that you might have a medical issue that would present itself during the exam, it's best to just try and address the issues a long way prior to the assessment. I do this as the very first step in application planning. And you then need to meet some basic pre-recruit course requirements. Once all requirements are met, you'll be invited to a Firefighter recruit training course. Nice work. And the course usually commences within 6 months from your offer of employment. Now, you're watching this, so I'm assuming you are, but if you're planning on giving ACT Fire and Rescue Recruitment a crack for 2023 and becoming a professional firefighter in the nation's capital, and you have questions, you need help, you want to get an edge, or you want to use my free practice tests and tools, you'll find all the information that you need below the video. Otherwise, guys, thanks for tuning in. Best of luck to you. Chat soon.